Hey fellow backyard bowyers, Nick here. Here's the finished 100-pound Turkish inspired bow. I think it came out really nice. So today we're going to be making a string for this bow. It'll have padded nocks to give a little bit of extra protection because this is such a heavy bow. Once we get the string finished, we can start doing some speed testing and seeing how this thing shoots. So let's get started. So this is a really strong nock. It's got 4 layers of PVC in it. But still we're going to pad it so it's even more durable. So for this string I'm using artificial sinew. This is polyester and it has a breaking strength of about 100 pounds. I'm going to be using 8 strands of this total to make my main string, and my loops are going to get about 16 strands. So I start by taking a measurement of the bow from nock to nock. Since this loop is a little longer, I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 to this measurement, and then I'm going to make 2 bundles of 4 strands. So now I've got my 2 bundles of 4, and I've waxed them with a little bit of bowstring wax so they'll hold together. Before I start my first loop, I'm going to measure out 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to make 2 bundles of 8 strands. I've gone ahead and made 4 bundles of 4 for these. I'm going to be using 2 for the first loop, and these 2 are for the second loop. So we'll put those on the side. So now I'm going to take my end here and measure out 1 of these for the end, and then for my loop, I want them to be a little shorter than these paracord loops, but because you lose a little bit of material, I'm going to start them off the same, and I'm going to give myself about 2 more inches just because this is very thick material. So now I'm going to find the center of this. This is going to be the material for the loop. I folded my 2 bundles in half, and then I'm going to place them together at this point. I'm going to go down here to start my loop. So now you're going to have 2 bundles in each hand. One side's going to have a short bundle and a long bundle, and the other side's going to have a short bundle and a long bundle. Go together. Alright, so now I'm going to take one side and twist the 2 counterclockwise until they start to twist on themselves. Do that to the other side. And then I bring them both together and twist them in the opposite direction, so clockwise. You can get about 2 twists before I have to re-twist them counterclockwise, clockwise. I'm going to continue doing that down till the loop is finished. Alright, so now I want to separate my 2 bottom bundles, these 2 on the top. Place the ends together like this. Now this end I'm going to twist clockwise, so this way, which is opposite of what we were doing. Do that until it twists. Then I'm going to do that to this one. Do that until it wants to twist onto itself. And put them both together. Pull them tight so the ends are even, and then twist them both together as far as they'll go. Okay. I'm going to do the same for this side. So now I twist it counterclockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise. And just continue that until this loop is completely closed. So now I take my two longer strands and make sure I don't cut these. And then I'm just going to cut these other strands at different lengths to help taper the end just a little bit. So now just keep twisting all of this together into the end. And then continue twisting for about an inch beyond that. So then I trim off all these loose ends. And there's the first loop. Now I take each strand and I put about 40 counterclockwise twists into it. So the same direction we've been doing our main cord with. So I'm going to do 40 twists on this one and then 40 twists on this one. So once they're together, just put a little bit of twist into the string. And there we go. So here's the first loop all finished. So now I bring the loop over to see where I should start the loop to get about the same loop size. So let's see, so the loops start there. So I'm going to start my loop right here. Just like the other side, make sure that the bundles are separate and that there's one extra bundle on each one of the main string bundles. Once they're put together, counterclockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise. And then I'm just going to keep going until the loop is finished. Alright, so now that the loop is done, I'm going to make sure that it is the right size. They're both the same size. So now I'm going to start down here. I'll take these two and I'm going to twist them clockwise. These two separate the center two strands clockwise. And together. And then counterclockwise. So now that I'm getting close to the end, I'm going to trim. So this is more of a taper. Just make sure not to trim the main piece of cord. Okay. So now I go back to the original loop. And I go from here and I just push all the way to the other side. This helps equal out all of the twists. Pull both together tight and then allow them to twist back together again. And there's the string. Now one end goes on the top knock, the other end goes on the bottom. So here's the bow strung up. You can see the brace height's a little taller than it originally was. I'm going to take both ends of the bow and just pull it toward me. This is to get all of the string stretch out quickly. Alright, so now that all the stretch is out of it, it's back down to about 7.5 inches. So there it is. That's looking good. And that's another thing too. Paracord strings tend to be a little creaky on PVC bows. This is nice and silent. So now I'm going to serve this string. So here's the top limb of the bow, where the bow's going to be shot. About 2 inches up from that is right here. Once I get a couple of wraps, I can tighten this up, get it to where I'd like it to be, right there. So now it's on here, I can just sort of spin this. Go for about 1 inch. I'm going to pull this loose end as tight as I can. Then pull it back down this way. And then continue serving. I'm going to pull out some extra string, bring the spool over my finger, and then I'm going to tuck the spool back underneath. Pull out a little extra. And I'm going to tuck the spool underneath, and going in the same direction, but so now I'm going that way, but this way instead of that way. It's basically going almost in the reverse of what I was doing. And I'm going to lay down about 3/4 of an inch of wrap. So you can see how I have about 3/4 of an inch wrap down there. Now I take this out, bring it under this thread, and then wrap this thread over. And as I wrap onto this side, the cord comes off of this side. So I'm able to move the wraps from here to here. Okay. So now I'm going to hold this tight and pull this in. If I just let go, there's enough twist in here that it will get caught. So I'm going to hold it at an angle and then pull hard. And there you go. So now that I've cut the ends, just burn the end with a lighter to keep this from fraying. So here's the string and the bow all finished up. So here it is. I hope you enjoyed making the string with me today. And today I'm going to be doing my first shots with this bow. I only have one arrow that is spined enough or stiff enough for this bow. This is made out of a driveway marker. It's solid fiberglass and weighs about 1,000 grains. Thanks for watching, and thanks to everybody who's supporting the channel. I'll put links in the description below for the Patreon, Teespring store, and for my books on Amazon. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.